Unit 23.1 Work Experience Opportunities. Sports industries, providers and sectors. Sports industry providers. Public. These are teams or sessions that are provided by the government. This provider aims to encourage people to take part in physical exercise. Examples of public providers are local primary school after-school football or the NHS system, for example, of subsidizing exercise, memberships and classes, or therapists. However, as these providers are public and no money involved, it's more likely to easily terminate the session due to lack of resources. Private. This provider is when someone is making a profit, and as a result the session is of high quality with very good facilities and equipment. Due to the participants paying, these providers can deliver a quality exercise session, as they are being paid and are trained. However, costs are high, so not all the general public can afford a private provider. Voluntary. This provider is no profit. They aim to increase participation in sport. This means that any income you receive is spent on the facilities and equipment and not for the coach of the activity. The government sometimes tributes to these local clubs to help out. This is a good provider because it is usually free, or there's a small fee which will be paying for facilities, not coaching. However, because the coaches are volunteers, coaches can often leave, causing the club to struggle finding a replacement coach. Dual use. These providers have two uses. For example, a school sports hall in the day is used for school purposes, and in the evening it is hired out to local clubs. This increases the government's investment by allowing sports to use the facilities, but sometimes at a high cost. Partnerships. This provider is when two companies work together to fund an organized center. Sectors. There are 4 different types of sectors. Sport and recreational. This sector works with basic level activities events or elite performers or events. This includes jobs like PE teacher, sport coach and sports promoter. Health and fitness. This sector works on improving the health and fitness levels of individual athletes or teams. This sector includes jobs like personal trainer, sports massage, sports therapist. Sports and exercise science. This sector focuses on sport effects on the body and an athlete's performance. This includes jobs like biomechanics, sports media and sports psychology. And finally, outdoor education. This activities are done outside in open space. This sector includes jobs like mapper, ground facilities and fitness instructor. Health and fitness sector. My job for health and fitness sector will be physiotherapist. Job description. A physiotherapist uses a variety of techniques and therapy in the treatment and rehabilitation of patients who are affected by physical problems caused by illness, disability, injury or aging. Salary. A physiotherapist gets about £23,000 to £29,000 a year if they work in the NHS. However, if they work privately, then they can charge for their time. Hours. If they work in the NHS, outpatient, then hours are 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., normally up to 40 hours a week, which allows for spare time in the evening and weekends. However, if working privately, then they can work flexible hours all through. Clients will often require them to work in the evenings or weekends. Transport. If they work with the NHS, then they will have to travel to local hospitals to work. But if they are private physiotherapists, they can work in venues accessible to them and usually locally. Evaluation. This job is well suited to me because I enjoy learning about anatomy and physiology and how the body works. I also enjoy problem solving, which is required heavily in physiotherapy. Physiotherapy also pays well, meaning I can afford to take care of myself. Another advantage is that it can be local, so it can be reached easily by public transport or car, as you are able to work in the local hospitals or book consultation rooms in local gyms, healthcare providers. The hours are also very good, as if you work in the NHS, your hours will be 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., which allow for spare time in the evening and weekends. Personal description. For a physiotherapist, it's a requirement for people in this role to be sociable, as they have to make the client feel safe. A physio should have soft skills and would have a good understanding of the human body. A physio would also need to have very good patience due to working with all sorts of people with a variety of different backgrounds. They need to stay calm with people who are in pain or injured, and they need to be confident so that they can advise and help them receive the best therapy to aid their recovery. Qualification. To become a physiotherapist, you would need a degree in physiotherapy or a sports and exercise science degree with a physiotherapist master's degree. This is a significant financial cost and time commitment. I enjoy one-on-one social interactions with others. I also have enjoyed learning about the anatomy and physiology of the human body and how it works. However, physiotherapy degree courses have high entry requirements, and training takes 3 years for a degree and further training to become qualified as a physio. Sports and exercise science sector. For my job, I will be doing sports psychologist. Job description. A sports psychologist is the scientific study of the physiological factors that are associated with participation and performance in sport, exercise, and other types of physical activities. They help athletes at all levels of sport participation to add mental skills to their physical ones. Salary. A sports psychologist normally gets between 20 to 27,000 a year. However, a experienced or head sports psychologist can get anything from 27,000 to 40,000 a year. Location. The location of this job is anywhere that can cater for athletes of all shapes. This could be at a school or college where the school and college can bring in the sports psychologists to help them in their sport, or at local hospitals. Hours. A sports psychologist normally works between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., allowing for time in the evening. Transport. Due to them being very local, as a sports psychologist can work in local schools or colleges or local hospitals, they are easy transports via bus, train, or car, allowing them to get to their practice easily. Evaluation. A sports psychologist would be suitable for me because I enjoy learning about people's behavior and the psychology behind sport. Another advantage is that the job is likely to be local because sports psychologists can work anywhere from local hospitals all up with the sports teams in their facilities, or at any local school or college where the team is successful and requires a sports psychologist. A sports psychologist also gets paid very well, as they can get anything up to 40,000 if experienced, with a sports psychologist starting salary in the region of 27,000. The hours of this role are likely to be 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. within a hospital or private clinic, although private sport clubs or professional teams may require them to work times to suit their athletes due to there being many places a sports psychologist can work. Transport will be very easy with many options, either bus, train, or car, etc. Personal description. Personality. A sports psychologist would need to be sociable, as they are talking about personal details about the client. They would also need to be trustworthy, considerate of the others, as it can be personal subject for the clients. They also need to know a lot about psychology in sport and how this can affect performance. Qualifications. A sports psychologist must have a range of qualifications, including a sports and exercise science degree at university, or a sports degree and sports psychology master's degree. This will take a commitment of time as well as considerable cost for tuition fees and living expenses while studying. Evaluation. I feel a sports psychologist would be a good job for me because I enjoy learning about what goes on in an athlete's mind when performing. I'm also very trustworthy, and I can keep important information secure from the general public. I also feel that I am kind and understanding of athletes' issues. However, I would need to complete the studies and pay for the degree course and living expenses. Outdoor education sector. My job is fitness instructor. Job description. A fitness instructor leads and instructs and motivates individuals or groups in exercise activities, including cardiovascular, strength training, and stretching. They work with people of all ages and skill levels. Salary. A fitness instructor usually gets anything from £7 to £15 an hour,